Some people are born in palaces but live like beggars, while others are born with nothing and think like kings. The difference is never in their fortune, it's in their mindset. Have you ever felt like life gave you too little? Maybe you've worked hard but still feel stuck, waiting for luck to change or someone to rescue you. But what if the real power to rise has always been inside your own thoughts? This story is about a beggar who owned nothing. No money, no home, no future, yet one simple shift in his thinking turned his entire destiny around. By the end of this story, you'll see that your life changes the moment your mindset does. Because a crown doesn't make a man a king, his mind does. Every great change in history began with a single thought. Before every invention, victory, or revolution, there was a mind that dared to see things differently. Most people wait for their circumstances to improve before they change how they think. But the truth is, life improves after your thinking changes. Rich mindset can turn poverty into power, while a poor mindset can turn even a palace into a prison. Today's story is about a man who had nothing, but his thoughts, and those thoughts made him everything he became. It's a story that reminds us that our mind is the first kingdom we must learn to rule. So, listen closely, because the beggar you're about to meet didn't find gold or luck or miracles. He found something far greater, a new way of thinking that made him a king. In a dusty old town, surrounded by crumbling walls and noisy markets, lived a man named Aaron. He owned nothing, not a home, not a coin, not even hope. Each morning he sat near the temple gates, stretching his hands out for food. Some days people dropped a few coins. Most days they walked past as if he didn't exist. He had grown used to rejection, so used that he began to believe he deserved it. Aaron often thought, some people are born lucky, and some like me are born to suffer. That single belief chained his life. He didn't notice how his body had become weak, or how his dreams had turned into sighs. He just waited for fortune, for kindness, for change. But nothing came. One cold evening, when the streets were empty and the lamps were fading, Aaron sat alone under a tree, staring at the sky. He whispered, "Why was I even born if I meant to live like this?" Just then, a calm voice replied, "Maybe you were born to learn how to rise." Startled, Aaron turned around and saw an old monk standing there dressed in simple robes, holding a wooden staff. The monk's eyes were kind but sharp, as if they could see through Aaron's pain. Aaron said bitterly, "You don't understand. I have nothing, no money, no strength, no chance." The monk smiled. "You have the most powerful thing of all, a mind that can think, but you've used it only to pity yourself." He took out a small mirror from his robe and handed it to Aaron. "Look into this every morning," he said. "When you see your reflection, don't see a beggar, see a king who has forgotten his crown. When you start to believe it, the world will begin to change." Aaron laughed. "A king? Look at me. I'm dirty, hungry, and alone." The monk simply replied, "Then start by cleaning, feeding, and befriending the man in the mirror." And before Aaron could say another word, the monk had disappeared into the night. The next morning, Aaron looked at the mirror again. At first, he saw the same tired face, but he remembered the monk's words. "See a king who has forgotten his crown." Something stirred inside him. That day, instead of begging, he decided to do small jobs around the market. He helped a shopkeeper carry baskets, swept a few floors, and earned a single loaf of bread. It wasn't much, but it was the first time in years he had earned something with his own hands. Each day after that, Aaron woke up a little earlier, looked at his reflection, and whispered, "A king never gives up." He began washing himself, cleaning his corner, and saving tiny amounts of food to share with stray dogs and children. Soon, people began to notice him, the beggar who smiled, who worked, who helped others even when he had little. One merchant offered him a stable job to deliver goods. Aaron accepted and worked with honesty and silence. Weeks turned into months, and his wages grew. He learned how to trade, how to speak kindly, how to plan. Aaron's mindset began to shift completely. He no longer asked, "Why me?" He started asking, "What can I do next?" That single question changed everything. Years passed. The same man who once begged for bread now owned a small shop of his own. He treated his workers fairly, helped the poor, and became known for his wisdom. People came to him not just for goods, but for advice. They said, "Aaron has the heart of a king." One year, the old king of that land died without an heir. The council searched for someone honest, wise, and loved by the people. Their search led them to Aaron, the man who once had nothing. When he stood before the crowd to be crowned, Aaron remembered the monk's mirror. He smiled and whispered, "I was never a beggar. I was only thinking like one." The crowd cheered as the crown touched his head, but deep inside, Aaron knew he had become a king long before that moment. The crown was only the world's way of seeing what he had already become inside, and that is how a beggar became a king, not by gold, not by luck, but by changing the one thing no one else could see: his mindset. When people heard Aaron's story, they often said he was lucky. But those who truly understood him knew luck had nothing to do with it. It was the way he thought that turned his life around. And from his journey, we can learn powerful lessons that can reshape any life, even yours. Your thoughts decide your direction. You move in the same direction as your thoughts. If you constantly think of failure, you walk toward it. But if you fill your mind with belief and purpose, every step pulls you closer to success. Before life changes outside, it must first change inside. Stop saying "I can't." Start asking "How can I?" I can't closes every door before you even knock. But the moment you ask "How can I?", your mind begins to search for answers. That single question transforms weakness into curiosity, and curiosity always finds a way. Gratitude attracts growth. Aaron didn't wait to be rich to feel thankful. He started with what little he had: a mirror, a loaf of bread, a new thought. Gratitude turns small things into stepping stones, not excuses. Surround yourself with belief. The monk's words became the seed of Aaron's new life. We all need such voices, people who remind us of our worth when we forget it ourselves. Choose company that lifts your thinking, not your doubts. Act like a king before life crowns you. Aaron worked, served, and gave like a king long before he wore the crown. True royalty is not about wealth. It's about discipline, responsibility, and self-respect. When you act like who you want to become, life eventually mirrors that image back to you. Aaron's story reminds us that a crown doesn't make a man a king, his thoughts do. He didn't wait for his life to change. He changed his mindset, and life followed. Most people keep begging life for better days, not realizing that the real power to rise is already in their hands, or rather, in their minds. The moment you begin to think differently, to see possibility where others see limits, your journey upward begins. So ask yourself today, are you thinking like a beggar, waiting, doubting, complaining, or like a king, believing, acting, and creating your own destiny? Because your throne is not built from gold or luck. It's built from the thoughts you think every single day. Change your mindset, and you'll change your kingdom.